I have to revoke some of that bio. I don't live the sweet cottage life in San Francisco anymore, unfortunately. That shit got moldy real quick. Hold on, I gotta get organized. So I went to this writer's retreat in LA, and it was really hot, but there was really good food, and so I'm gonna read some poems that I wrote there. It was called Lambda Literary Writer's Retreat, which if you want to know about it, you can come talk to me because I have lots of thoughts. Okay, I'm just going to go randomly. Okay, yeah, so these are all new from this summer. So bear with me. Wedding vows. I promise to never make art again. I promise to burn all the photographs of her. I promise I won't collect the ashes and lick them out of my palms. I promise I will start letting men fuck me with their cold, solid hands pressed up against my backbone. I had always hoped he'd find a decade-old suicide note crumbled inside of my jaw. I wish he'd make a whip with my spinal cord. I wish he'd let me fall apart in his mouth. I promise I won't cry when my belly grows such intricate stretch marks. I promise to burn all the photographs of her. I promise to make you feel comfortable. I promise I have never shoplifted Ace bandages from the Walgreens. I promise I have no connection to flat chest, name change, misgendering. I promise that when I take my binder off, my ribs don't creak open like a mother's jewelry box filled with rubies I want to shove into my mouth. I promise that I am not one of them. I promise I will call you master. I will call you God, my God. Your mother will side-eye me, dirty daughter. Your father, with his hand on the small of my back, dirtier daughter. I promise to forget how to say no. I promise to learn to be your shadow, your blow-up doll, your clever trophy, your drugstore magnolia, your hysterical ball and chain. I promise to wear this ring like a name tag. I promise that in the church I will sit still. I will sit in the confessional with dirty secrets. I will pretend not to hear him with his hands beneath his robes. I promise I won't stutter when I hear his breath gone heavy. I promise I have never done this kind of thing before. I promise that afterwards I will feel less like a sinner and more like a lamb, more like a woman, more like a soft and fragile thing. I promise you will never find lipstick on my neck again. I promise that I am a lamb and not an artist. I promise to burn all the photographs of her. I promise to never make art again. Cool. So the person that I'm dating is reading this book called Appetites, and I'm not sure who the author is, but maybe some of you have read it. And it's just about this like constant hunger that we have that doesn't necessarily have to do with food, but it's all kind of intertwined. And just from conversations that I've been having, this poem came out of it. Like I said, I haven't read the book yet, though. Us with open mouths. We are all born unopened and holy. We start here coughing up bile and deprivation when the body is a marionette. When you have a tongue but can't express your language, when you become a flower stapled to the wall. Sworn shut windpipes but balanced eyelids. If I had remembered faith, I could have screamed a prayer into the forest, dug my nails into the skin of citrus. I've hidden all my secrets in the pockets of my cheeks. The safest space I've chewed for myself, the burden of eating, the exhausting appetite. Because we are the ones that are always hungry, always devouring images of thin bodies in the silence of the bathroom. The tub is a portal from tired to drowning. The thought of food as a weapon, because to eat is to be fat, And shame is a thick and dangerous thing. It keeps us guilty and controlled. It keeps us alone in showers, away from sex shops. It keeps us unprotected, horny, crying, weighing, chafed thighs, pulling at stomachs, undeserving, asking for it, deflection. Big bellies, fat plums, marinated. I smell like fat because it's an easy scent to inherit. It's taught in schools and at bus stops. It's bottled and born, inadequate, fetish, nasty. You smell like fat. You smell like lazy. My anger is a deeply hidden vessel. I have bruised my hands to hold my own cups filled with sugar and oil. I've been a collector, a packer of evacuation tactics. I used to rub the weight of my thighs, grit my teeth as my dimpled ass grew red stretch marks, but I know this. Like the storm knows a canyon, the inevitable rain, the yearn for scissors, sharp things, and scales. We are all born unopened and hungry, learning to spell desire but never how to use it. In the spaces I have come to know, I will always be hungry, my mouth open but never taking, my stomach cranky and never full, always consuming myself in takeout boxes to hide in the memories of years when I did not eat, a story of hands twisted in the bulge of intestines, the soft meat of my body as it lay rumbling, the privilege that exists to lay with the choice of being empty. The body is a road. The road is confusion, and confusion is always hungry. I am barefoot at the edge of the forest, the old scriptures I have fumbled through, the pressure of being, the ways we are told to view our bodies, how some grow up to resist. To remove our shirts is an act of revolution. My tongue is a riddle in the trees. My body, a house for ghosts, but I am no longer scared of the ache. I am no longer hunched over trying to swallow myself, but I will always be growling. I will always be seeking. I will always be hungry. Do I have time for 2 or 1? No? Okay. Okay, this is about how virginity is a social construct and that shit. And this is about having sex for the first time, not losing your virginity, because fuck that.
All right.
Don't fuck that.
Whatever you think. How I learned about tops. Somewhere I was lucid in brilliant spindles. Finger bones up inside Georgia O'Keeffe smooth oils. So when I saw you and your gap-toothed smile all menagerie, all brass, picked apart just to pick apart, my fingers chewed to the bone up inside paintings. I wondered why she said no when I asked to fuck her. Still sweet San Francisco, broken bus pass. Girl, pass me your broken. Girl, you taught me how to top while I was bottom dwelling. Girl, try harder. Give me some charcoal. Let me be the fattest cathedral. The smoking jacket I have sewn into my skin. The ways I counted down the days until I was finger bones inside a mountain. Because the emphasis is virgin construction paper love notes. Burning down the closet, learning how to fuck you harder. We only get better. We start to polish our brass like swallowed teeth, the burden of a chewing stomach. So when I saw you, up inside my neck a river of clothespins holding my breath on the line, boy, be a silent carnival. Boy, give me some salt rock. Boy, try harder. Let me sing as heavy as a cracked compass. Let me go down polished. So I have one more. Thank you all for being a super attentive audience. This is called top surgery. When things started to ache at the thought of themselves changing. When my hand is a scalpel traveling up my shirt. When my hand is a sad piano. Hammers striking my wrist guilty. Keys pressed down until the depression is released. I want to remember this moment like an operating table. A hot light that crushes more than it opens. The twin fillets they will take from me. And I will ask to see myself wounded, because what would I prefer? A broken casket of a rib cage, lungs filled with fluid. I cough myself out of nightmares, 2 scars that look like a shark's jaw. Maybe it'll rip open on its own. Maybe my chest will become a creaking trunk and y'all can peer into my insides. We can discuss how unhealthy my heart looks with the stress of being read not the way I intended. Because what do we do with our bodies when we're born inside out or some other form of capsized? Dysphoria has no get out of body free card. Dysphoria has no spells. I can shapeshift, I can bandage, I can breathe deep and hope that you'll get me, but gender is a many complicated thing. I wonder what my chest will think when I tell it that in a few years it'll lose its natural density. I wonder if my bones will care. I had never expected this kind of faggy growth to barb wire itself, to watch my hands and my hands struggle to carry the weight of my tear ducts heaving. Who knows if those phantom appendages will come back calling for me? Those secondary sex characteristics determining whether I sleep on my stomach or get kicked out of bathrooms. When I see other boys walk by with their chest stitched with dog-eared scars, I want to reach out and touch them. I want to tell them, boys, I've been self-medicating with rosemary and spandex stretched around me. I want to offer myself to the tile in the bathrooms, the ceramics that display no secrets, because boys, when I was 18 and had my jaw unlocked by men shoving their greasy tongues at my swaying faults, my earthquake golden limbs, before I started cracking, before I started crying about things that are beautiful but not supposed to be, I daydreamed about the operating table, the awkward space between the sterilization and the brutal softness, the beautiful boys that bury parts of themselves in the yard. I am going to compose a symphony of hammered piano keys, release the tissue without a cavern of apology, the rattling of a rose bush performing softly. Do you know a lot about pianos? Because I am trying to be as flat as a grand piano's back, its belly open, its keys pressed down, its depression released. Thank you.